you'll find that story in most dailies this morning. As Nigerians are talking about it, Business Day even has his picture right there. And yes, of course, speaking to the crash. And, there was that video. Let's have that video come up again. A video involving the crash, how he was rescued from the crash. We saw people lifting him out of the vehicle.
Gaudy pictures.
It's not, it's not showing any blood or anything. Just how he was being lifted out of the vehicle without a stretcher, of course. Lifted by his security aide, the DSS aide that were driving behind him. They ran to his rescue before any ambulance could get there. And, report has it that it took a while for the ambulance to even get to the scene. And the ambulance from Lagos got there first before ambulance from Ogun State, where this actually happened. And a lot of questions have been raised. Lots of questions. What impression was this? An accident victim, pulled out of the vehicle by passerbys, and there's no medical care, no vehicle, no medical vehicle, no first aid in sight, no first aid vehicle in sight, and the bodies of his friends, Latif and what's the other guy's name? Sinai Gambi or something, were just placed on the floor, right there.
And they were taking pictures and all.
And people were taking pictures.
You see, when they tell you are a third world country,
this is evidence of poverty.
You say they're insulting you. You say America is insulting you. You say the Western world are insulting you. But every day you give them evidence of who you are. Please, can this type of thing happen in the US? 5 minutes max, somebody will be there. 5 minutes, if that's maximum 5 minutes, ambulance will be there to evacuate those people to the nearest health facility. Let somebody call now and contradict me. And this is Nigeria, where you are looking for 210 trillion naira that somebody have stolen. No, look at that. We measure on minor. We measure on stealing money. Moses, money that would have helped us to do all this thing, make Nigeria a first world country. Our leaders are stealing the money. They are stealing the money big time. To make these things possible, is it not money? Are you telling me that we don't have the money? We have it, but some people steal it. They steal this money for their own selfish interests. Denying us the necessary things we need for our health, for our education, for everything that makes life worth living. Is that not the problem? Tell me, is that not the problem? Tomorrow, there is no money. There is no money. Let any of them come and tell me again that they will not have money. Let any of them open their mouth until we find out 210 trillion naira. Let anybody in Nigeria who claim to be whatever come and tell me that Nigeria have no money. Then that person will hear from me.
Of course, Barrister, they will tell you.
Let them come and tell me. Now I'm waiting for them. Let them come and tell me. I'm waiting for them.
What really baffles me most in this accident is FRSC Ogre station is not too far from where this accident took place. It's not up to 3 minutes drive. Unfortunately, they have a station at that Ogre. That Ogre is supposed to be equipped with ambulance. Knowing fully where their role is federal road safety. What are they talking about safety? When things of this nature happen, you cannot rescue the victims appropriately. They're supposed to have medics on ground, have a mini health facility at that Ogere center. It's a very major center. If you are driving to Ibadan, immediately after that interchange, you get to this FRSA office. What do they have here? They only have their patrol vehicle that they use to block the road and begin to terrorize motorists. But look at the major incident that happened yesterday that they could not handle. It is all these boys around that are going to start dragging people out of that. And in the process, you know the damage and the harm you would have even done
Of
to people
course,
who are already
medically it's not good. It's not proper.
Because it's supposed to be handled by medical
It's
experts.
very careful.
They know
Careful.
how to carry them and put them in an ambulance. They have to start waiting for an ambulance. People pass by have to surround them. But like barrister have said, sometimes money are appropriated in all these things. But when it gets to where it's supposed to be implemented, some other person sees that this is my own share of the national cake, and it goes somewhere. And who is actually supervising all this? We have seen this one now. By today, this matter is already being put behind us after all these discussions now.
Of course.
Then it remains as it is. 2026 budget we have heard now is with the National Assembly. Every year these things are budgeted for. Unfortunately, we don't see what the budget comes out of the budget at the end of the day. This is just we are further washing our dirty lino in the public before the international community.
This is a country where
this is a superstar worldwide that was just being handled here like a miscreant on the street by a very locals who don't even understand what it means to manage an accident victim being handled.
Well, the point is that the way it is handled now, probably it was done well because it is an international star, Joshua. And we'll get to hear about it because it's involved. These things happen everywhere.
Of course. Even as we are talking now, one more can happen somewhere along that.
That's one leg of the discussion. And another leg of it is the fact that FRSC, has come out to say that, look, the accident was a pure result of reckless overspeeding. He was on top speed and he was trying to overtake another vehicle, and suddenly, he saw that an articulated vehicle
on the road
was parked,
and that one was not evacuated.
He ran into it. So
Mr. just to add to what you are saying, look, in a clan where things are done properly, the owner of that truck who parked on that place without any caution, in fact, they should take them to court. They caused this accident. They parked at the wrong place.
But I understand, but it also speaks to human failure. If he was driving between.
It was a controlled speed.
If it was a controlled speed,
easier to navigate.
It would have been easier.
The fact remains that truck was parked there wrongly. Why?
No, Barrister, I don't know about wrongly. I know that the truck was parked there. I don't know the truck. I don't know if it was parked in the middle of the road or
it was by the busy road.
And it's a busy road.
So vehicles are not even allowed. Are not supposed to be there.
But vehicles do break down.
But they have to be evacuated immediately.
It depends on what. Would you know when it break?
No, but that's the job of the FRSC.
Whenever you put caution.
I'm not trying to absorb. I'm not trying to absorb
the speed was
the driver that
was a caution. You would have seen it from afar before even trying to overtake.
Barrister, now there was. I don't know if there was a caution or not. Sometimes people, even when there are cautions, people ignore all of those things, because they are in a hurry to get to somewhere. I'm not trying to absorb the person that parked the truck of any responsibility. But what I'm saying is that, like Moses said, I like the word controlled speed. If that speed was controlled, the damage could have been less. And probably there mightn't have been a fatality in all of this. So it speaks to how our people drive. You see somebody, we talked about it on the morning show. If you are doing 120 and I'm doing 70, 80, by the time you park,
it's
less than 2 minutes.
It's less than 2 minutes.
I'm
That's what driving is all about.
So that is what people should. That is what people should understand.
Do you know
85% of accidents on our roads are caused by
high speed,
overspeeding.
I am coming, please.
And carelessness.
There are multiple causes.
There is
bad road is another.
Then this careless breakdown of vehicle on the road is another issue.
As I talk to
bad roads. If you talk about bad roads, we understand that lorries, articulated vehicles tip and fall over, accident. If the road is bad,
even with cars.
If the road is bad,
there are times you'll be driving on a road that you are familiar with, and then you're driving at maybe 70 or 80, and there's a pothole.
Okay.
And then you don't have a choice but to run into it.
Our description of bad road here, is where you have craters here and there and there. You understand? Under that condition, you won't see somebody speeding. You won't see somebody overspeeding.
FRSC came to tell us that it was overspeeding. Have they told us the limit of that speeding? Have they come out to tell us they were driving at so speed Is there any check on that road? That has it. Please tell me to know how much
there is not.
they were
There is
not. So how do you conclude that it's overspeeding?
The gravity of the
impact.
The impact of the vehicle is
Yes.
not enough.
Shows that.
It's not enough.
It must have been
It's
on
not
top speed.
enough. You must determine that speed limit, whether they are actually overspeeding, before you can conclude. A man nothing can wreck a car. A man nothing can wreck a car.
Barrister,
Because of
the degree of damage there was simply
the truck that was parked, remember, is iron and steel.
Okay.
Abi, and it's an articulated truck that was stationary park. Is that not true? Anything coming in contact with that truck, in fact, is a suicide mission.
Barrister, that's what it depends on
it depends on because of the effect on that vehicle, the speed of that vehicle made that impact.
That is what I'm telling you, that if it was that,
Imagine the second person that died was sitting at the back, not front. That's to tell you that the effect of the speed was high.
and that is where my suspicion comes in of other things. So if the man at the back and Anthony Joshua was at the
behind the driver, Anthony Joshua behind the driver survived, and Anthony Joshua survived.
Barrister was
But the other man at the other side.
and no, he was at the owner side.
Anthony Joshua was behind the driver.
Behind
And the driver
behind.
survived too. But the other
Driver
person at
survived.
the owner side and the one at the front
What
and the one that
what
died.
I'm saying is that, you know, when things like this happen, all manner of blame will come in.
Barrister, let's just be thankful that AJ is alive.
But the people that died, they are equally
his friends
the
died,
people
yes.
that died, they are equally people's
Of course, yes,
world
of course.
champion.
That's
Yes.
They are somebody's a woman's world champion. A parent's world champion.
Yes, I also read yesterday 7 journalists that lost their lives in
Bombay.
NTA in Bombay State.
Yes.
It's
They
same
come
accident.
up
That's
from
same
the
yesterday.
And it's
A tire bus.
Theirs is attributed to a tire bus.
And an excessive speed too.
Yes.
Yes, because at that speed, if a tire burst,
Probably.
you
And
lose
then you
control.
the brakes and then you
Lose
You lose control.
seven persons lost their journalists in
Did
NTA.
you hear anybody?
Coming from the
Did you hear
celebration.
anybody
Celebration.
call to greet or commiserate with them? Did you hear anybody? 7 journalists.
7.
Did you hear anybody call to commiserate with their family or say something? Did you? You can see what we are doing in this country. Some lives are more important than others. Is that not true? Why not treat everybody equally? That is when you get patriotism. Moses Okoro, listen very well. That is why America can go all out to look for one of their own who is a nobody, who is in a distress somewhere. As long as you are American, Donald Trump will mobilize everything to get you out. He doesn't want to know who is your father or which party you belong to. That is America for you.
Or the color of your skin.
That is America for you. It happened here. It happened in this country. They selected their best Navy SEAL. Their best security agency to come here and rescue that man. And he happened to be the son of a reverend father or something like that. He's not even a party member or something. With that kind of spirit, please, why won't you die for that country? Tell me, why won't you sacrifice for that country? We are talking of building a nation, and you are selecting those who will pamper and those who will not pamper, those who will remember, those who will not remember. So the other person you don't even care. Who told you that you bother yourself if the Nigeria is burning? Because nobody remembers, nobody cares for him. That is the spirit you are building in every Nigerian. When you don't treat everybody equally, no matter the situation, you don't care. You select those because some people are bigger than others. That is not fair. It's not fair. Take America. I just gave you an example. Let somebody call and contradict me now. Little thing that the president will come out and go to the scene and say, look, this must not happen. He will take charge. Remember when some of these psychopaths used to go to school and shoot? Remember? An American player will go to that school, commentate with everybody. Little children, no, he doesn't even know them. We go there. But here, even when the worst scenario is going on, the president will be somewhere in France. And you want those people to be patriotic, to be good citizens, Nabi, for a country that doesn't care for them. How does that happen? Please tell me how. Do you go and pick patriotism on the street? You pick it on the street, Abi. It's not about action, intentional action.
All right.
Towards your citizen. You build patriotism in them. They know that yes, Mr. Okoro, Do you know that when the 9/11 happened, some American Navy men in the plane saw where they were going towards the White House. When they were talking,
and
they struggled.
They struggled and entered there. Said this must not happen. I'm telling you. Look, I don't want to get fed up this morning. I'm not joking.
You will.
They went all out. They went all out to make sure that thing does not happen to their White House. If it was here, they first of all look at the person in the White House. Is he Igbo or Yoruba? Let them.
Barrister, talking about getting fed up, you will. You will. With the next story. Okay, so let's go into the next story. Now, yesterday we read that the federal government wrote off NNPC debts amounting to approximately about 8 trillion.
Yeah, because Egbenga was involved. Yes.
Because what?
Egbenga. Is it not the man at the up to
Benga,
yes. Oh, yeah. Is that not Egbenga was involved. Just call it Egbenga. Yeah, that's what happened. Go ahead.
All right then. Well, today there's another story in the daily. It's an interesting story, I must say. NNPC. Yesterday was federal government writing off NNPC debts. Today NNPC is writing off federal government debt. So NNPC writes off 4.01 trillion naira subsidy.
They did not even tell us where those products are coming from.
No.
Whether it is something they stored behind, let us know. Or they imported. They want to tell us that
15 trucks daily.
Daily.
3,000 since shut down.
So
where is it coming from?
And after that, they now added shut down. A refinery that was shut down is still supplying product into the market. Mr. Okoro, please. So can somebody tell me the meaning of this? Let me understand. You shut down your plant. The plant you are using to produce a product. Meanwhile, you are supplying daily your product into the market. So how did you manufacture the product?
Barrister is an abracadabra thing.
God works in mysterious
ways.
God works in mysterious ways.
In
Are
Nigeria,
you serious?
yes.
Okay, when some of these pastors perform this miracle, you doubt them, Abi?
We don't doubt them. We're in Nigeria. We pray.
No, when the pastor now tell you that God has done miracle, you think it's a lie. It's a lie.
The issue
Look at what is going on in Port Harcourt. And nobody will interrogate this and say, come, we heard what happened. We saw already. Please, can you tell us, how did this product come into the market? Why are you doing it? What happened? No explanation. No explanation. The embarrassing thing that after writing that they are supplying into the market, they now said from a refinery that was shut down. Shut down.
That's the
and all of us have accepted it.
That's a miracle. We have not accepted it.
Nobody will question how did this miracle happen.
Even they shut down refinery and still chunk out diesel. So
we are questioning the miracle.
In fact, look, this country
needs
a clean up. Seriously, we need a clean up. I'm not joking. We need a clean up in this country. This is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand.
Maybe we have a Moses that has a rod when he strikes the.
No, the kind of miracle that is happening here is not water. This is diesel coming from that rock. This is diesel. It's not water. Oh well, Barrister, have you?
Barrister, I'm coming down.
Look, I am still controlling myself because
control yourself.
Because I cannot reasonably. I cannot rationalize what I'm hearing this morning from this oil sector. One, they were doing trade by barter with our money. Now, a refinery that was shut down is producing product and sending it into the market. And I'm sure some of that product is in your tank now. You must have bought some. And nobody asked, how did it happen? Where are you supplying?
And they're also secretly planning to sell assets.
Good.
We don't even know.
So when you have in one morning,
what's the assets?
In one morning, is that not more than enough for somebody to go to Yaba left and say, please, this shrink, help me check my head?
Don't worry.
Because it looks like what I'm hearing is in a dream. I'm not joking.
We are good at hearing most of these things daily in Nigeria.
And this is your
because we don't question it.
Your assets.
The interesting part is in this story is about the sale of assets. It's even Reuters, an international body, that is making this revelation.
That is even reporting it.
Yes,
it's not even Nigeria.
It's right here on the cover page of this day. Reuters.
Oh.
NNPC set to sell selected oil, gas assets invites bids.
It's Reuters that is
Reuters is the one
giving us
telling
our
us.
local
That means
news.
local players may not even know about this.
at all.
They won't know. They invited people from outside who will come and now exploit us, in the name of bringing investment. You can see what is going on. And when the man there now have fed, when you are taking more than enough, they will now remember, there is corruption there, they will remove him, and that person will come and continue.
They continue with the trajectory of want to do turnaround maintenance. We keep hearing turnaround maintenance.
Look at how Benga Komalafe was just, he resigned, Abi. He resigned.
Yes.
And then 8 trillion naira.
With his friend.
8 trillion naira is gone. 8 trillion naira is gone, Abi. Under your ministry, this kind of thing is going on. Look, we need a clean up in this country. I'm not joking. My worry here is that they are telling Nigeria that there's no money, Moses. So this one that they're using to do trade by barter, where is it coming from? Is it not from this country? The money that this country generated from tax, from our assets that God has given us, a few people cornered it, and they are using it to suppress every other person. And you are telling me that it is not enough for you to be angry.
We are angry, but the issue is that even when we get angry, how do we, resolve all these things that
it's the wickedness of the highest order. Look at the amount of trillions. Before we used to hear billion, it has now entered trillion. People who now steal money, they don't even think of billions now. If you steal billion, you are a fool. Go make it trillion so that they will know that yes, somebody have done something here.
They'll be scared of you coming close to you.
Exactly.
Then the next thing they will call for
I am telling you,
plea bargain.
Can you
And from
imagine?
that plea bargain, you probably, if you have 1.3
In Nigeria,
trillion, you just bring about 20 billion naira and they will let
you are running a country. You are running a country.
All right, a few other headlines here from this day newspaper. Senator Yari takes control of Geregu Power as Femi Otedola exits. All right, and yes, we've talked about the road crash. And yes, Wike Fubara, North Rivers APC leader. He decided late, re-election not guaranteed. Claims his supporters control the grassroots. Criticizes Makinde's approach to politics. Declares he's decided to quit PDP. ADC not a threat to Tinubu in 2027. You have exposed your anti-party activities. PDP tells Wike, vows to field presidential candidate. Okay. So those are...
Moses, you mentioned something here. Geregu Power Plant, Abi?
Yes.
Otedola exits.
Yes.
Another person takes over.
Yari takes over.
Go, Yari, Abi? Please, Nigerians and Lagosians, you were here when Adelabu came with band A, band B, band C, and he told us that with these reforms, there will be 25 hours electricity.
Power supply.
Is that not what they told us? Please tell me if I'm lying, no. With all the money they have jacked into this tariff, Moses, what did we get? There are people in this Lagos now for 2 good months. Since November, they have not seen light. And they have been complaining in all our shows. What happened? With all the reforms that they told us that with it now, no problem again. They will not need money from government, this and that. Is that not what Adelabu told us when they were bringing this to so-called reform? Have you seen why I will never agree with these people whenever they are telling their lies? Have you seen it? Tell me one of their reforms that have seen the light of day. And it is this tax now that will bring shock, Abi. You want me to believe that this tax will bring shock to Nigeria?
At the tax reform commencing.
No, just look at deceit from beginning to the end. Whenever these people tell you something, they are going to do a different thing entirely.
Talking about the tax, it's kind of surprising and curious that up until this moment, that Nigerians have not been able to mobilize effort, against the tax. Everybody's been speaking from one corner, somebody another person speaks from Sokoto. The Take It Back movement, the End Hunger movement, nobody's doing any mobilization and all of that. And we hear people in government say, look, no matter what you do, this thing is going to take effect.
They want it to happen before they will take action. They will not.
But it was around this time in January 2011, you know, that people mobilized and
don't worry yourself. I am very sure the courts are going to be busy from January over this tax. The courts are going to be busy. Class action will. What are you telling me? No, it's not possible. The court will see litigation over this tax. That one I'm sure of. Look at the deceit, the power they told us that when they reform it.
One sheikh saying that that is Tinubu's tax is not going to be paid in the north. And they will not pay.
No, which one is they will not pay? So long
but
as
they will collect it from
they will collect it. So long as you have.
I don't even know the method that the tax is going to be collected.
Except you don't have bank account.
Local method of coming to chase you on the street.
Oh yes, they don't know. The thing is that
tax, you think it's the same local
that
method.
people will say, "Show me your ID card."
As long as you do transaction,
every transaction you do,
they will collect
something
from
is
there.
coming out of it.
That's why I tell you that there will be litigation both in the banks and then to FRIS. They call it revenue. Okay. So they are going to see litigation because people cannot take this. More so when there is fraudulent intentions in this thing. At least when you are going to do something, why don't be too open about it? Every dick and Harry will know that yes, this is very clear. They understood what you are trying to do and all that. Why are these things coming in through the back door? That the revenue agency will now be given the power to arrest people. Do you know the meaning? Something that is not clear, you now become the judge and the prosecutor on your own because somebody you do not even know. Let us reconcile account and know whether you are actually owing or not. Just because on the perception that you are owing tax, therefore they arrest you. Mr. Okoro? Is that how the law operates? Then what are the courts there for?
Well, we are looking at probably the National Assembly will look into that matter because they raised it. And
No. This country need a clean up. Seriously, we need a clean up. It is getting too much. We need a clean up. Somebody had to clean up this mess. I'm not joking. It is way too much. Especially that NNPC.
You said something
about Wike and Fubaran. Yes. According to Wike, Fubaran not reverse APC leader. He decided late. Re-election not guaranteed. I think Wike has been talking a lot now. And
he just woke up again.
No, he's panicky.
He's panicky, really.
Yeah, he's panicky. For him to say that Fubara is not a Rivers APC leader. I don't know.
What's his business?
He is not even in APC, so he's in PDP. He should leave Fubara.
And he's saying that re-election is not guaranteed, which lends credence to the fact that there must have been an agreement
that he will not come back.
He will not come back.
On what ground?
But from what he sees now, looks like Fubara is intentional. He wants to come back.
If APC decides to give him the ticket, what is Wike's issues there? He's not in a PDP.
Wike is even saying that the writer says that he's about
to challenge there.
There's a writer that says something about declares he's decided to quit PDP.
He
wants to quit PDP.
Even if he quits PDP, he's coming to queue behind
because I don't see
the constitution of APC. If he goes to APC, the constitution says that the governor is the leader of the party in their respective states.
Elvis, we are talking about what ought to be. Let's look at what.
No. Let's first of all look at what is obtainable within the party. That's the party law.
If so, coming
then
back,
when it comes to the political structure, like he always say, there is a structure. There is a structure.
Sanwo-Olu the leader of APC.
Listen. This aberration.
So Sanwo-Olu has a father now. The president is the
exactly the
point.
The
leader of the party in all the 36 states.
No, not that Wike wants to be. Wike is Fubara's political father.
It cannot happen in Rivers State.
But he is.
It cannot happen. I said it cannot happen. If Wike quit PDP today and enter APC proper, he have destroyed his political career.
How?
Because which APC leader will welcome you after the betrayal?
Which APC leader will welcome him? I'm telling you that Tony Okocha, he was the one that installed Tony Okocha.
Who is he?
How would you be the party chairman now?
It's Emeka Beke that the court recognized.
What are you telling
Emeka
me?
Beke?
Yes.
Where is Emeka Beke now?
Well, he's in court, and I think.
He's still in court. The court that recognized him. He's still in that court.
It's not Tony Okocha. We know that Abuja is
I
the one
said
that is
River people.
Beautiful. I'm happy that you have come back to it. You
River
understand that it's
people will never
Abuja.
wake
Every
up
decision
again.
has been made about APC in River State. It's made by Tony Okocha. It's Tony Okocha that comes out to say, look, these people are our members now. It's the same Tony that said, no, these people are not our members. And all of that. If Wike joins APC today, I mean, the de facto leader of the APC in River State will be Nyesom Wike.
Is a lie.
Talk about the people that are the 20 local government chairmen are people that he moved from the PDP to the APC, gave them tickets to conduct.
He can't be the leader of the party
It's
when
not
the
the
governor is
I
there.
said
de facto leader.
de facto leader.
You remember that Fubara is talking with Tinubu now. I hope you remember.
Okay.
directly talking
To
What
Tinubu.
difference does that make?
It makes a lot
makes
of difference.
What difference?
when it comes
Yes.
to politics.
I am
it makes
telling
a
you,
lot.
all those agreements.
Before now,
Uh-huh.
Fubara gets access to Tinubu through Wike.
Even as a governor.
Even as a governor, yes.
But now you're talking
But
to
now
him
he's directly
I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware of that.
Didn't you see
This is-
when Wike was telling you that he doesn't need to tell Fubara to defect? Fubara doesn't need to
As a
tell
governor,
Uh-huh.
Fubara has always had access to the president, because I recall in the heat of
not when they were having issues.
Barrister, even in the heat of the crisis.
No,
even in the
he
heat of the
never
crisis.
did. He never had access.
He did. You recall that he even went to UK to meet the president.
He never
Two
had
of
that.
us.
He never
But
had
the president
access.
was on a private visit.
So he went to meet him. He
No,
always,
no,
he
no,
always
no,
had
no,
access.
How
to
many
the
access
president.
did he have to the seat of government in Nigeria?
it was the last-
That's
during
the
time of
point.
the crisis?
When a governor
He
goes
never had it.
to governors,
Look,
ordinarily
the last
saunter
meeting-
into Abuja to see the president.
The last meeting.
He didn't need to pass through Wike to have access to the
Listen, the
president.
last meeting he went on his own to meet Tinubu. Is that not true?
I'm telling you, before then, has been going.
After
But
that
I think the
meeting,
kind of access we're talking about is different.
after that
It's-
meeting, he now defected.
high-level political access.
Now,
Access
after
is
that
access.
meeting,
Which one is
Access
high
is
level?
not access.
after
Access
that
is access.
meeting,
Now, when you go to meet the president, what do you discuss state matters with you? You
After-
discuss political matters
after
with
that
you. You
meeting-
come out to tell us what you discuss with the president.
so Koro, listen very well. After that meeting, Fubara came back and defected to APC. Is that not true? Do you think
You think
that
decision, the decision to defect was taken at that meeting?
What are you telling me?
Is it something everybody knew that was
But
going
wait,
to happen
let me
now?
tell you, I'm coming. Don't jump the gun. Wait. Fubara went to go and present his own terms before he can defect. And it was that term that was agreed by the president. That was why he eventually defected. That was what happened. He placed his own terms, which the president agreed. He just defect on.
That is what we are saying. Now. He always had the discussions had been on. He simply went to formalize and finalize
because
it.
terms were agreed upon. So he had a agreement with the
all
president.
said. I understand
So
that.
the
Look,
agreement with
it's not going to be. It's not going to be
do you
easy,
think-
both for Fubara and for Wike
Do you-
and even
do
the
you-
president
do you
in
think-
Rivers
do you
State.
think
Wike
Because
is going to be sacrificed.
APC will sacrifice Fubara for Wike
That
as
is
a
not
sitting
possible.
governor.
It can never happen.
Do you think it will happen?
It can never happen.
In Rivers?
It can never happen.
well,
Especially now that Fubara is having direct access to the
no,
president.
we are quarreling with that word director.
No.
I believe that he always had access to the
we
president.
always put that because we knew how this man was humiliated for over 8 months. Before the emergency rule, you know the crisis. Then before the emergency, 6 months, he was out of power.
See, this is
So-
my thinking. This is my thinking. I have drawn a
But
matrix.
you heard,
I've drawn a
the
matrix box.
national secretary of the party when he went to commission some projects
Which
in
of them?
Rivers.
Samael.
No, I mean APC.
In Tawa.
Yes, when he went to commission,
Okay.
when he said that Fubara has done so well and that he's entitled to a second tenure.
Oh.
It's a
He
matter.
wouldn't have said otherwise now.
Now that's the national secretary
He wouldn't
of
have said
APC.
otherwise. You
National
see, I have drawn a
secretary of
matrix box,
And
I
if
put,
he
and
satisfies
inside
the
this
people-
matrix box, I put Fubara, I put Wike, I put the president, and I put the Rivers people and APC.
Yes.
You know, all these players have to be very, very careful.
Yes.
And all of them, I think, are very careful because any little mistake they make, you know, it will affect everybody adversely. Wike has the capacity to recreate.
It's a lie.
Barrister.
Not when
Barrister.
Tinubu is involved. Hold
No,
on, please.
no, he does,
Don't give him the power he does not deserve.
Sometimes-
If Tinubu call Wike to order today, will he reject it? Will he refuse? Tell me.
Sometimes even
No,
as-
tell me.
even as-
If Tinubu
Barrister.
tell Wike, I don't want you to decide.
Barrister.
Yes.
Wike has the capacity to cause problems.
Is a lie. He doesn't. Not when Tinubu is involved.
Barrister, hold on. Okay, that is your own opinion. Now, my own opinion. My own opinion.
Don't give him the power he does not deserve. That's what I don't want to hear.
Barrister, my opinion is that
the power he was assigned to him by the president.
my opinion is that look, Wike has the capacity to cause problems for the president in Rivers State.
Is a lie.
It might not be national.
He cannot try
in
it.
Rivers State.
He cannot try it.
Yes,
He
in Rivers
cannot.
State. He has the capacity.
Look,
What do you mean by will the president be everywhere?
the moment the weekend
The president can't be everywhere.
The president will not allow him to cause trouble.
that day, EFCC will come after him.
Coming back.
When the president
will appease him.
Is there?
Basically.
The president should be able to shut him down. If he's
it's
going to
not about
ask
shutting him down, it's about appeasing him. And appeasing him is a recognition of the fact that he has the capacity to cause problems.
Because we
even if it's
already
in 5, 6, 7, 10 local government areas in Rivers State, that we should not take away from anybody.
I said
Even Fubara himself has the capacity to cause problems for the president, even in Rivers. I'm talking about 2027.
listen.
So within the matrix box, everybody is being very, very careful. And the president understands that very well.
are very important in all.
Very important. Very important.
Nobody can take them out
Not
of it.
Tinubu is not when Tinubu is involved. He can call Wike to order and he will sit down.
All right.
And the person will refuse.
It's a lie. It can't happen.
Barrister.
That means you want EFCC to come and visit.
Barrister Darlington Agubo, thank you very much for your contribution. Elvis Telebe Hena, thank you very much. Chukuma Okoro, well, thank you very much as well. But you miss a return later tonight at 6 p.m. on Political Lens.
Yes. And I'll travel around Nigeria with my guests to give you interesting political.
All right, there you have it. And that's it. That's it for the show. I am Moses Humphrey. Wishing you a beautiful day. Bye for now.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get drum! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues Your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react. Understand.
It's a season of love, a season of joy, a season to celebrate you because you deserve it. From all of us at Voice of the People TV, we only want to wish you a very merry, happy Christmas and a prosperous new year ahead.
As the year comes to an end, we want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for your hard work, dedication, and the positive vibe you bring to Voice of the People every day. From all of us on the HR, we would like to say Merry Christmas, a happy, prosperous, and healthy New Year. Thank you.
This year has been so amazing with you in it. And that's why we're saying from Voice of the People TV, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And we love you.
You've been wonderful all through the year. And this is from us, Voice of the People Television, saying Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year to you all. See you at the top.
Hello there, my name is Otedola Ogunsi, also known as the Goldfish.
Hi, my name is Chiki Bright Emmanuel. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello peeps, my name is Yomi E. Adejimo.
Hi everyone, I'm Paul Utomi.
Hi everyone, my name is Stacey Benjamin and this is Voice of the People TV.
I need you to keep it locked to VOP TV. See, are you looking for good entertainment? You want to get good movies, good music, politics, talk shows, sports and entertainment. You really want a channel that gives you everything you need without you having to run around. VOP is where you are. That's Voice of the People.
If you're not listening to this, you're not one of us. And you deserve to be killed. Scrap chat. Don't be killed, but watch it or I'll find you. And I want you.
And you are locked on VOP TV. Don't go nowhere. This is where the juice is. This is where all you need for entertainment, politics, movies, and whatnot.
And keep watching VOP TV.
So keep it locked because I'm locked already, man, and it's money back guarantee. So you're gonna have a good time because I do.
And please keep watching VOP TV.
I won't turn to you actually. I beg you, subscribe, watch it. If not, whatever you see.
You better not touch that dial because VOP is the plot.
Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Ovisha Nelson One, your #1 celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
Uyi Osarate is my name. I am a friend of the microphone, Voice of the People TV. That name is unique and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV. Live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice. Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we'll bring you unbiased and explicit information.
Yes, it started on December 21st right there in Morocco. Yes, started on Sunday. And 9 days on, we've seen goals, goalkeeper drama. Yeah, fantastic goals, goalkeeper drama, saved penalties. I mean, VAR drama as well. Fantastic performances from the goalkeepers. In fact, you can't even tell at this point which one is the game of the tournament. And I'm talking about AFCON. There's still a lot to come. 2 groups have already been concluded. And yes, it is match week 3 right there at AFCON in Morocco. Welcome, good morning, and welcome to Sports Republic on Voice of the People TV. I am your host, Afiz Ogubanjo, and of course, you know how it is on Sports Republic. We give you, a lot on from the sporting world, and of course, yes, I'm going to be doing this alone on the show today, and I have my guests. They will be joining me very soon, virtually, and we are going to be dissecting everything from AFCON and also from other sports stories. Yes, just before we move on into the story for the day, let us tell you that you can be a part of this program. Yes, all you have to do is just follow us on all our social media handles, and yes, on YouTube, Voice of the People TV Live. Yes, and of course, do also like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and of course, turn on your notification button so you won't miss anything. Yes, from the world of sports on this show, and also you won't miss any of the fresh updates on our subsequent shows on that platform. We'll be starting, yes, on the rather, let me say, sad notes, yes, where we have British Nigerian boxer Anthony Joshua. Yes, he was involved. He is trending at this point, yes, just because he was involved in a fatal crash in Makun, Ogun State, yes, Monday, December 29, 2025, which claimed the lives of 2 people, yes, Sina Gami, and of course, Kevin Latif Ayodele, who were part of his training team, and Joshua, who is 36, sustained minor injuries and received medical care at a specialized hospital in Lagos. Yes, the incident occurred on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway when his Lexus SUV, yes, he was in there and collided with a stationary truck, and reports due to excessive speed and wrongful overtaking. And the president, yes, of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, and other Nigerian leaders have sent condolences to Joshua, wishing him a speedy recovery. There is a lot that is going on from this one, but I'll be looking at it from the sporting side, and this is where I want to involve my guests. First, let me introduce them. I have, of course, two esteemed sports analysts. I have David Bolanwa, yes, he's with me, and I also have Peace Shobaloju. David, let's look at it from a sporting perspective. You know, a lot has been discussed, a lot of agendas even going on. I'm surprised to be hearing agenda going on for a sad case like this, but let's look at it from a sporting side. Yes, he has lost his trainer, and he has also lost his strength coach and his strength and conditioning coach. We're talking about Anthony Joshua. And he just came off fresh from a fight against Jake Paul, where he made a big payday, even though tax, took some of it. But he made a big payday, and he came to Nigeria for some humanitarian, and community projects. Where does this leave Joshua? He's only 36. How do you think he's going to cope with this one that happened to him? And do you think he is going to go on fighting, or retirement is calling, David?
Good morning to you, Afi.
Good morning, David. Good morning.
Thank you for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure being here. And I hope it's not too late to say Merry Christmas to our lovely fans.
Yeah, it's not too late. Of course, compliments of the season. Yeah.
Right, so down to the question, a very unfortunate event that happened. I think every player at the moment wants to come home, wants to, have a feel of home. But this is rather unfortunate for Anthony Joshua at the moment. And just like you said, just 10 days after, showing the world that he is still capable of what boxing is, beating Jake Paul there and, cashing out big. Lost two of his personal guys. Those are more of his backbones. I saw the news yesterday and I was like, no, this is going to be shocking and, sort of a dilemma for Anthony Joshua himself, because it's even if you lose a close one, if you lose someone, a relative or something, it's going to move you in some way. So for Anthony Joshua, it was more like the match was more like him coming out of retirement.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he retired, but it was the match with Jake Paul. It was more like coming out of retirement. And he himself said it in the pre-match videos that it was just maybe going for a fight in Saudi Arabia, just low-key, nothing, no media, nothing, just low-key, maybe until 2026 before he has more of like his final match or something. So at this point, I just feel if he dips it too much, he might be thinking of retirement, because psychologically, these are guys he trains with every day. These are guys he goes out with every day. These are, of all his teams, those two are always with him. So they are much more than friends. They are more like a family to him already. So it's going to be shaking for him.
In fact, it's a shocking news. And Peace, let me ask you, the sports princess herself. Where does this leave Joshua psychologically? David has spoken about him, trying to cope with, those losses. How is he going to face the families? Because one is not even Nigerian. That's when I was in Agami. But of course, even though he's not Nigerian, or how about the Nigerian one? They are his friends. Joshua, in the boxing ring, he's a beast. You know what he can do. But right now, this is not about, boxing. This is way beyond the sport right now. How is it going to affect him psychologically? Do you see him retiring completely, saying, okay, just like David said, he came out of retirement to fight Paul. Do you see him going back and saying, look, this is time to actually call it quits? I know I'm not living on the best note, but I just have to leave because of what happened.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Aladi Choreographer. Good morning,
Good morning, please. Yeah.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me. Of course, I think for me personally, I think it's going to take a lot of time for him to recover psychologically, because it takes a lot. Just like everybody on this panel will have plans, for New Year, for Christmas. It just shows how tough life can be and how you can just eat us at any point in time. Quite an incident, but there's nothing we can do about it. You just has to focus on recovering mentally, and probably going to be seeing a psychologist or now, because every time he tries to move on, he's going to be reminded of these guys, because these guys are in in his inner circle. They are his close friends. I think Latif has been his friend even before he became his career as a boxer even started. They go way back. So it's like losing a brother, a childhood friend. So I think it's like a deep cut for him. But obviously, I pray and hope that he recovers. Our thoughts and prayers with the families of the deceased. And I hope that at the end of the day, I think it's going to take a lot of time off resting and everything for now. And I think it needs time to recover. It needs time to focus on himself. I think that there's not going to be any rush, and I don't expect him to retire, because I don't think that's probably what his friends want him to do, because I think they have that fighting spirit, in their friendship and everything. So I think it's just going to take a lot of time for him to come back, because Mr. David said earlier, I think that game, that match between himself and Jake Paul was just, was for him gradually make that comeback, because he's kind of been on a losing streak for a while. Then that Jake Paul match was bring him back to the spotlight, and show the world that he still has something to prove, still has what it takes.
Yeah, peace. Exactly. That's where I want to go in now. You said something just now. You said it gave him, that sense of a fresh comeback. That okay, I can do this, after coming out of retirement. Now let me stick with you, peace. Now that's victory over Paul has given him that morale, right? And now a lot of people have touted, him fighting his long-time rival in the UK. That's talking about Tyson Fury. Now with this incident, do you see it happening? Because it's been coming, it's been going, it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. Even when everything was all right. Now with this, unfortunate incident, do you still see Joshua against Tyson Fury happening anytime soon?
I think it's just about this is probably going to tell us a lot about Anthony Joshua, his mental state, how strong he is mentally, because it's not something easy coming back from a huge loss like that. So I think it's just going to take time. I think it's going to happen eventually. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think AJ is going to give up on his career like that. I feel like it's probably going to take a lot of time, maybe 2 years. I don't know, but I feel like it's probably going to happen eventually. And maybe that might even give him the motivation, because he's not just fighting for himself now, he's fighting for his friends as well. So he wants has the extra motivation to go and finally beat his biggest rival in the UK. So I think it's probably something that is going to happen, but there's no rush there. I think nobody should raise any agendas and stuff like that. But I feel like this is probably going to tell us who he is, how mentally strong he is as a person and as an athlete as well.
Yeah, the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRC, they confirmed that the accident was caused by excessive speed and wrongful overtaking, common factors in fatal road crashes in Nigeria. And the Ogun State Police Command has launched an investigation into the incident. And Joshua, who had recently declared that Paul in Miami, was in Nigeria, like I said earlier, for sporting events and for community engagement. And his promoter at the end, yesterday, popular promoter, stated that he is in a stable condition and will remain under observation, and the boxer is expected to fight Tyson Fury in 2026. And of course, a lot of people have flooded him with the flooded social media space with a lot of prayers and of course tributes and of course condolence messages for the people that he lost. And David, finally on this one, I asked Peace earlier, do you also see Joshua against Tyson Fury happening in 2026? Because of course 2025 is wrapping up. Do you see it happening in 2026? Do you think Joshua is going to come out, is going to come out clean psychologically to say, okay, look, this is going to go behind me. It might take a lot of time, but I will put this behind me and go on to fight Tyson Fury, because a lot of people want to see that fight.
All right, yeah, thank you very much. I think after the match against Jake Paul, he himself called out Tyson Fury for the next year. So I believe since he could call him out, I'm not seeing him going back on his word. So 2026 is a very long year. We've got 12 months untouched. So let's say psychologically see a therapist for the space of 6 months. That's up to June. You should be able to bounce back. We should be able to see the match probably anytime September, November. I think we should be able to see that matchup in November. That's if he is gonna, be ready to fight. But for me, I'd rather want him to fight in 2027. Respect his friends and
just stay away for a year. I think that would be better as well. All right. For me, yeah, I would like him to also, just like David said, maybe he should just stay away, for a year and just respect his friends. And of course, yes, from here, on Voice of People TV, from Sports Public Show here, we are wishing Anthony Joshua a speedy recovery, and we would like to see him back in the boxing ring. This is a really tough one to take. And let's move on, of course, to the AFCON, where the Super Eagles of Nigeria, of course, they are in a joyful mood at this point. They qualified for the round of 16, 6 points from a possible 6. 2 games played, 2 games won. A lot, Kizike, he decided the game, 2 games, of course, including the game against Tunisia. Stanley Wabali, I don't want to go into that right now. But the Super Eagles coach, Eric Chell, is considering rotating his squad for today's match against the Cranes of Uganda at the Africa Cup of Nations, prioritizing squad management over a fixed starting lineup. And he believes this approach will help manage the team's overall performance and, of course, give opportunities to deserving players. The most important thing is the group, he said, and this is not a competition for 11 starters or 11 players. He said that's one. And Chelsea's decision, it comes as Nigeria has already secured the spot in the knockout stage, and he wants to balance rest and performance. And he mentioned that players like Rafael Onyedika, Ebenezer Akisomiro, and Francis Zoho, when Nigeria said that name, they're like, please. And of course, they could get a chance to play. However, there are injury concerns with Stanley Wabali, Victor Osimhen, and Frank Onyeka having minor issues. Please, we saw that game, Nigeria against Tunisia. It was Nigerians were waxing lyrical already. That game was supposed to be a tough game. These are sort of games that I should be seeing, at the last games of the group stage. It happened quickly. Second game, it was like a top of the table clash. 2 teams with 3 points from their first game. It was supposed to be a very tough game. We saw the way Tunisia played against Uganda.
Yes.
Nigeria went in less like the favorite. They were not the favorites for that game, to be very, very honest. It looks like we are coasting to victory. And 2 goals came in. A lot of people called out Stanley Wabali. Now, Nigeria is playing against the Cranes of Uganda. Last group game, they've qualified for the round of 16. What are the changes? Who are the players that you are looking to see, for this game? Are you still expecting the likes of Victor Osimhen, the starters, or are you standing with Eric Chell and saying, look, I'm going to rotate my squad for this one?
Yeah, I think I do agree with Eric Chell on this one. I feel like there are a lot of players on the bench as well that needs that needs like a sort of game time. They need
French players.
They need like to be given an opportunity, a chance to prove themselves as well. And besides that, we have like 4 players that are just 1 yellow card away from missing the round of 16. The likes of Victor Ademola Lookman, Semi Ajayi, and Stanley Wabali.
That Victor Osimhen yellow card was needless, by the way.
Yeah, of course, and of course you expect Stanley Wabali to have a yellow card because he's always going to hold up to the ball like that's probably his Christmas gift or something. So I think, so I feel like, of course, I think this is an opportunity for Francis Uzoho. He knows what he's doing. It's an opportunity for him because honestly, I've not been comfortable with Wabali in goal. It's not like it's not good enough, but I think we just have to wake up to the reality that this is not the same guy that we saw at the AFCON last year, 2020. 2024 AFCON. I think we need to wake up from that reality and accept that this is not the same guy. He has this erratic behavior that he kind of does unnecessary stuff, holds on to the ball for too long. There are a lot of shenanigans going on there. Even first goal, I think it was tested twice against Tunisia and he considered. And that is not a world-class level goalkeeping that we want to say. Okay,
please, Wabali are world-class. They are not in the same.
Yeah, I'm just
not respect to Stanley Wabali, but let's do what they're doing.
Of course, of much respect to him. Of course, he has his his games and he has a lot of opportunities that he's kind of done something for us. But let's just focus on what is at hand right now. And I think those 4 players, I don't want to see them in that manner because why risk missing these players in the round of 16?
When you have that depth on the bench.
Yeah. So I have like and the fact that it's already done, but at the same time, I have to also pay attention to the number one position because the goal difference, we can't afford to lose this game against Uganda.
Yes.
We cannot afford to, and I feel there's clearly a pattern there where you expect Nigeria to see up games and make it comfortable. That is when they tend to disappoint and they tend to do some things that you be like, okay, what just happened here? So we cannot afford to lose this game. I think a draw is actually enough, but at the same time, these are the games that we should be winning. But no disrespect to Uganda, of course, they're the whipping boys of the group. They are
they?
I think, yeah.
They had a draw against Tanzania. And they have a Nigerian. They have a Nigerian that can eventually stain our whites because they have Ochechukwu Ikpeazu is there, who plays in Scotland, and he has gotten their only goal of the tournament so far, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not trying to downplay what they can also, but when even on from the I say expect some of these players to do a job against Uganda. I would like to start this game. So of course, Emma will probably be replacing Ademola Lookman, and of course, this is a game for Siri. Probably show himself that okay, I can also do Victor Osimhen, and also be nice to see how we can actually cope with that Victor, because there's this narrative out there. It's not really a nice fact as well, because whenever Victor Osimhen is not, we tend to struggle and we tend to score goals as well. This is our opportunity for the players. Okay, we can actually do a job without Victor Osimhen, and so of course we have to be careful of the goal. Tunisia beat if they beat I'm trying to remember if they beat Tanzania. Yeah, well, the same goal difference as have to be careful there. Cannot afford to lose this game at all. So we have to make sure that at least we get a point. So I'm not trying to disrespect Uganda, but I feel like this is a game for guys that are not getting enough game time to themselves. Give something to think about.
All right. David, let me bring you in. Historically, Uganda has a slight edge over Nigeria. We've played 8 times. They've won 4, and Nigeria and drawn 2. An important one, right? Let's put it in context. The last victory for Uganda, it came in. It was in 1976. Was it 1976 or 1978? Yes, where they did Nigeria in the quarterfinals. Now, would this be like a boost for the Ugandans, the Cranes? They know that 4 points and they might finish as the best third place side. Or even if should Tunisia lose, they might be dragging second place with Tanzania, depending on what happens there and the goals different and all of that. Do you think they have this tendency, to use Nigeria as a skill? Football is not just being played on the pitch. That's not all about football. Psychologically, it takes a lot on football as well. So let us look at this. Can they say, we've played 8 times, we've won 4 of those, half of our we've won. Can we do this again today? That's talking about from the side of the Ugandans.
All right, thank you very much. Just like you said earlier, when you expect Nigeria to perform, that's when you probably see the worst of them. And I'm not really going to put my hopes up tonight because I just want either a draw is enough for us. But coming to the Uganda story, they are the underdogs. I think they are the last on the table currently. So they are going to put all of their might to just get something against Nigeria.
Because there's still hope for them.
Yeah, because there's still hope for them to, come up at least. If not, they probably might not be able to come up second, but at least they'll be able to come up third, which would make them fight for the best third or something. So they would want to, put in their efforts. For Nigeria, we would always want to relax because, we've qualified for the round of 16 already. And, that's why our coach is talking about rotating. He had not qualified. I doubt he will be thinking about rotating his squad, right? Let's be fair with it. So now that he has qualified, he wants to rotate his squad. And we know we would not be getting the same quality as of our starting 11, which is sure. So, team that force team that is me good. Listen, our first team.
Are you still not convinced with what you've seen from Super Eagles so far?
To be honest, are you convinced? How do you give up a 3-0 lead to now?
Almost bottled that, but it's one name, David, that was coming out. They were blaming it on Stanley Wabali. That game was done and dusted, apparently.
Yes. You are leading comfortably 3-0. 3-0. I mean, then you now concede 2 goals, and there was even a third chance that could have.
As well, yeah.
I mean, so to be honest, I'm not sure I as a sport analyst and as a Nigerian football lover is convinced about our current performance in this competition just yet. But Nigeria, anything can happen. We didn't start the last AFCON successfully well. We started off on a very rough patch, and we went up to playing in the finals.
Yeah.
So let's not give up our hopes yet. So tonight, just as we said, a draw is fine for both sides. It gives Uganda an hope that they could, continue in this tournament. For Nigeria, we already qualified, so just rest the good legs. And it's an opportunity for the young guys to also show that. I mean, I hope to see Cyril Desas do something today.
Absolutely.
I really want to see him do something today.
Yeah.
So if he would get that opportunity, the whole noise of if Osimhen is not playing in a Nigerian sport,
nobody can play,
get the goals. So I really do not want to believe that's what our national team has become. That if Osimhen is not playing, then we cannot get the goals or get the win. I want Cyril Desas to do something. He's been scoring. He has a very good scoring opportunity in his club side. So let him replicate the same thing. Akwa Adams is also there. Yeah. He's been doing well for us.
Salim Fago is also there as well.
Fago is also there. I mean, we've got these young guys. So I believe we should be able to get tonight. Nothing is saying we should not beat Uganda. But this is Nigeria.
When you expect them to perform, that is when you just sit down and just be looking at what is going on. But then I think maybe a draw. At least I think it's going to be a draw. Names I'm looking to see. I'm looking forward to see the likes of Ebenezer Akisomiro, Usman Mohammed, the likes of Salim Fago. Awaziem also at the back. Bruno Yemechi. Exactly. For me, I think Bruno Emechi is a better left back than Jesus Sanusi.
Yes.
That is open to arguments and all of that. But let's stick with AFCON. AFCON has been, for me, fantastic. And I want to ask a question. Are you Morocco and kicks? What is going on? He has 3 goals at this tournament. About the Olympiacos man. Also, Brahim Diaz, who is also the first Moroccan player, second Moroccan player to score, in their first 3 group games of the AFCON. The last one by Ahmed Farah. This is a good tournament so far for Morocco. It's also great to see Ashraf Hakimi back. That's talking about the current Africa Footballer of the Year. It's good to see him back. This AFCON so far, we are reviewing it. It's just been wonderful. It is tough to even pick out the game of the tournament so far. It's tough to pick the whole of the tournament so far. We've seen our Foko of Botswana making 14 saves, and they still considered 3 goals. The big boys are showing up. Yes, these are the results of yesterday. Angola up against Egypt. They played 0-0. How would you expect Angola to play 0-0 against Egypt? South Africa have sealed their place, in the round of 16.
Yes.
They won 3-2 against Zimbabwe. If you see Zimbabwe's goal, I think that was the second or the first. I think that was the second goal. Beautiful. It took on the South African players. That for me is part of the goal of the tournament. Comoros against Mali, 0-0. It finished. Mali with 3 draws in the group. And also Morocco doing the business. Look at the two men there. Brahim Diaz of Real Madrid struggling to get game time for Real Madrid, but is doing the business for Morocco. And Ayoub El Kabi. That goal was almost good. I was praying for that goal not to be ruled out. It was a bicycle kick, fantastic. And he has 3 goals right now, also with Brahim Diaz. Riyad Mahrez is also on 3 goals. Amad Diallo, you saw that game between Cote d'Ivoire and Cameroon as well. Amad Diallo, Brandon Mbumo. AFCON has been fantastic, David. What would you say has been your game of the tournament so far?
Right. Thank you very much. This is what we are not wasting our time, but this is what we are expecting to watch.
Yeah.
So I don't want to mention names, but somewhere in the European
discuss
expectations. Bicycle kicks its highest level. We saw that of Kabi yesterday. Just like you said, you were hoping for that goal not to be ruled out because that could be a contention.
I don't know. You know, for the fact, sorry to cut you, that this is the bicycle kick goal of his career. Ayub Okabi is something else.
So I believe we are blessed to have players like this in Africa. We are so blessed to have players like this in Africa.
That's the first one on your screen.
Yeah, I've seen it. So it's going to be very hard for me to pick a game because it's too early to pick a game of my tournament because we have not even in the round of 16 yet. This is just the group stage. So we've still got the big boys doing their things. We saw Cameroon versus Cote d'Ivoire and we saw the outstanding matchup. It was the big boys are turning up. The big names are turning up. So let's see out of the round of 16, then we can be like, okay, we are going into the semis. So you should lesser drama. Because these guys are really turning up.
In fact, and I'm enjoying this AFCON so far. Please let me come to you a little bit. Nicholas Jackson led the way with 2 goals, now we've seen a lot of players on 2 goals. Osuna Police of South Africa, Lion Foster also of South Africa, Lassine Sinayoko of Mali, they're on 2 goals. And we have the likes of Brahim Diaz, like I mentioned, Ayub Okabi and Riyad Mahrez. Let me stick to Algeria. Coming into the tournament, apologies to Ademola Lookman of Nigeria. He also has 2 goals. He's the man of the AFCON. He shows up for the Super Eagles when it comes to AFCON, even though all Osimhen, and I believe that Victor Osimhen will still get the goals. Now, let me stick with Algeria. To the tournament, they were like the less fancied of the big boys. Nobody was talking about Algeria. Nobody mentioned them, the 2019 winners. I think they've gone down a little bit, but trying to remind Africans that look, we are here. The business leading the way with 3 goals. Mohamed Amou. Do you see Algeria going all the way, Peace?
Well, I think it's too early to say that Algeria can go all the way. I think it's too early to back them. Obviously, they are coming in as like probably the underdogs from the big sides or the big names because they don't really have renowned players as they used to do. I think they have I can think of my head probably just only Riyad Mahrez.
Peace, are you with me? Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. So you can say that the group that are in, they are a group filled with Burkina Faso, Sudan, and Equatorial Guinea. So it's not like the most difficult group to be in when you consider the likes of the likes of Group F and Group G. That is still it's still very much open. Anybody can win. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not sure what they've achieved so far, but at the same time, I think it's too early to say they can go all the way. But I do see them, getting to probably the quarterfinals at least. But I don't see. That's still not in my favorite, conversation. I think we have to look at the likes of Morocco, obviously, probably the number 1 favorites for everybody. Even Nigeria are not still the favorite, although we've been putting up performances although they're not convincing. But the likes of Morocco, you have Senegal in the mix. You have Egypt as well. So I think it's too early to say that Tunisia can go all the way, but they're definitely showing the signs that doing the right things are definitely in the right direction as well.
Absolutely. What I'm actually loving this morning is the fact that AFCON, we are talking about AFCON here, and we are not even saying this is the team that we are saying that can win it. This is what I love about the AFCON. Even from 2023, the VAR calls, so people even say the VAR calls are even better than the Premier League in England. And this is what we want to be seeing, in African football. Now, we might be having, a 4-year tournament. I think that's a big step, from CAF for me. And also the African Nations League. I think African football is growing, to be honest. And this one right here, I'm sure if I ask both of you now that which player do you think is going to be the player of the tournament of this AFCON? I'm sure it's going to be difficult to call because players are actually trying to show themselves to the world that, look, we are playing African football and we are playing it very well. Oswina Police is a player I'm going to call from South Africa. Fantastic. And I'm also moving on to Group F quickly before we move on. Group F, just like Pete said, we have Gabon, Mozambique, we have Cameroon. Aubameyang also, trying to do the business, but I think Gabon are actually knocked out right now. That group looks to be the group of death. David, do you still see that group as the group of death? Do you think anybody can qualify? Because as it stands, I think it's all done right there. Let me quickly update us. It's all done right there. Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, and Mozambique, they look to have qualified from that group as it stands.
Yes, thank you very much. Just like you said, Ivory Coast and Cameroon look to have qualified. They are both on 4 points currently. Mozambique is on 3 and Gabon is on 0. So safe to say Gabon is out of this discussion. So now it's going to be a game of who knows how to do it best, because 4-4-3 is quite a point that you don't want to miss. So I think the highest, as it stands, the highest in this group should probably be a 5-point lead. The match that would ever happen.
But Cameroon is playing Mozambique in their final game. Yes. Should Mozambique win, that would be 6 points. And if Cote d'Ivoire, should displace the whipping boys of the group, that's talking about Gabon, that would be 7 points. So as it stands, Cameroon might actually end up third. It's possible. Anything can happen in this group.
Anything is possible in this match, in this group. This is probably one of the groups everyone should be looking at, because we've got 2 heavyweights here. You've got Cameroon, who are, long-time winners of this competition. You've got Ivory Coast, who are the defending champions. So definitely everyone's gaze is on this group. And we're in the last games of this tournament. So as far as the group stage is concerned, so we should be seeing interesting football in our faces. Just keep our hopes up, and I want one of the big dogs to be out.
That would be nice, right? There should be an upset. Yes. There should be an upset. We should see a less fancy team in the round of 16.
Mozambique should be able to do something for the boys. So let's see.
I would love to, because they should remind us of what Cabo Verde did in 2023, scintillating football. I thought Angola was going to be the one, but then Angola hasn't really lived up to expectations so far this tournament. But there is a projection. It comes in with with data analysis as the groups progress, as the match weeks progress, and there is a projection that as it stands, the Super Eagles of Nigeria might be taking on Angola. As it stands right now, the Super Eagles of Nigeria might be taking on Angola, for the round of 16. And that won't be a bad fixture, to be honest, because if you remember, 2006, what the Angolans did to the Super Eagles of Nigeria, to pick up that, sole World Cup ticket from that group that we were, the likes of Fabrice Aqua, Figueiredo, Flavio, I can't forget those guys. They went on to qualify for 2006 World Cup at the expense of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So, should Nigeria face Angola in this round of 16? I would love it because of particular reasons. But still speaking of football, and let's move away from the AFCON right now. Yes, don't forget, the Super Eagles of Nigeria are playing today up against Uganda, and the boys of the locker room, when they come in by 5 p.m. today, and that's talking about Ikechukwu and also Jerry, they will be dissecting everything you need to know about that game, Nigeria up against Uganda. Let's move on to the Premier League, because it's also hotting up right there in England, and it's match week 19. This time around, we are seeing second leg fixtures, and to top it off, it's Arsenal, the group leader, the table toppers. I don't want to say group leaders. The table toppers in the Premier League, they will be facing a title contender right now. 11 wins on the spin, 11 wins on the bounce. Fantastic manager. Unai Emery's Aston Villa. Morgan Rogers has been fantastic. Ollie Watkins has been fantastic. He didn't start that game against Chelsea, came in to score 2 goals. It is hotting up right there, in the Premier League. Arsenal, they're just 2 points. They're leading Manchester City, and also Aston Villa with 3 points, adrift of the table toppers Arsenal. This is a mouth-watering fixture. This is a perfect, end of the year stroke New Year's gift. Peace. Yes, West Ham, just before that game, West Ham will be hosting Brighton, Burnley up against Newcastle, Chelsea will be playing Bournemouth, 8:30 p.m., Nottingham Forest against Everton, Manchester United will be playing Wolves, later by 9:15, and also Arsenal. That's the fixture of the round. Arsenal up against Aston Villa. Peace, what are your predictions for this game?
I think, of course, that's the big one for the week match, midweek fixtures, and of course, it's probably the one that Manchester City fans will be licking their lips. Even Liverpool fans will be excited to see that they probably want a draw. Honestly, but I think a draw will probably be the ones that Manchester City fans and Liverpool fans will probably be they'll be praying for, because that means both teams will drop points, and then Manchester City, if they can beat their opponents, that means they get to go top of the league. So I think of course this game is probably a feisty one, because we've seen Aston Villa come to the Emirates and dunk on Arsenal countless times, all over again. And for me, I think as an Arsenal fan myself, it's been really stressful week. I don't want to keep fixing Nigerian game and Nigerian games and Arsenal games on the same day. To consider my health.
You don't know where your head would be at this point.
I don't know, because after watching of course this time around Nigeria will go first. Last time Arsenal went first, and then my house was just like everywhere, all over the place. I'm like,
no, you should calm down. You should calm down for this one.
Yeah, I'll calm down. Of course, Nigeria already qualified, so they qualified for that one. So I think no head loss there. I don't think but no matter what happens, I think we're already safe and sound. But the Aston Villa game is where I think Arsenal needs step up. They've considered they've scored 4 own in the last 4 games as well. And also look at Aston Villa, they've also been overperforming their expected goals as well. Of course, you can set down to the mistakes or lack of concentration from their rivals. But at the same time, you have to also say that you make your own luck as well, because Arsenal, people are already calling Arsenal Ongo FC. That's because they keep pressuring their opponents, and the opponents are panicking, making a lot of mistakes and everything. So you could say that Arsenal faced the most low blocks in the team. Even Manchester City came to the Emirates and packed the bus, but I don't see Aston Villa doing that. I think they're going to play especially, and I think this might be the game where Arsenal they have to just be more clinical in front of goal. I think the last one being against Brighton, they should be learn to kill off games. But I think for me, this is the game where Arsenal is step on. This is a season-defining game, because if they drop any points here, psychologically, at this the last game of the year as well, and the funny thing, they're going to play Liverpool next, so they can't afford to drop points here. Even a draw is enough, because their ground. I think the mentality that Aston Villa showed when we went to the Villa Park, I think 2-3 weeks ago, and they kept trying until the last minute, and they literally scored with the last kick of the game. So for me, I think this is the game Arsenal needs to step up. Obviously, when you look at the expected goals, Arsenal will be dominant. In fact, even when they went to the Emirates, to the Villa Park, they had the possession most shot.
Yeah, but possession doesn't win games.
Yeah, but not about possession alone. I think they've been creating chances. That was what we struggled with at the start of the season. They struggled to create chances because there was no Bukayo Saka and Odegaard because of injuries. But now that they are back, I think Gyökeres is just not showing the signs that he's that quality, that that high class level to actually be the difference maker. I think he's not showing that, because you could see the quality of you could see the quality when Gabriel Jesus comes on. You could see the clear difference. The difference is quite clear. You see Gabriel Jesus more you most of the time you rarely see Gyökeres have an impact on a game. You just see him, just of course kind of drags defense, their defenders out of position and everything like that. But at the same time, he's not really doing much. He's not dictating play. He's not linking up play. He's not, he's not imposing himself enough. And I think he needs to work on that. Obviously, and also I think maybe for me, I'll probably start Gabriel Jesus in this game because of the chaos he causes, the link-up play, the fact that he brings kind of all the attackers together. He's always exchanging roles, interchanging positions. So it's really, really difficult to mark a striker like that. And obviously, I think maybe you might also get a goal because he's also been eating the woodwork. Quite unfortunate for him, but I think this is the game where finally get to start utilizing their exchange, because it's not a bad position. They've been dominating games, but they've also been creating. and they've been missing a whole lot of them, from the Wolves game to the Brighton game to a lot of games in the last 4 games now, where they should have killed off games, first half done 4-0. They just struggle, and then they just let their position back in the team, and that is something that they need to put off, or else they are going to keep inviting opponents to build up their confidence that they can get a point or something at the Emirates.
All right, in fact, that's a very deep analysis, coming from Peace Shobaloju there. And David, let me just quickly ask you, just a yes or no. Do you see the table, shifting, shifting positions at the end of match week 19? Because Manchester City also, they smell blood. They are, waiting patiently for the results between Arsenal and Aston Villa. And just like Pete said, Aston Villa has been proving like a bogey team, to Arsenal's title ambitions. And right now, do you think the form they are in, that's talking about Manchester City, Erling Haaland leading the scorers chart, Ryan Cherki has just been incredible. Quickly, do you see the table, shifting positions? Do you see Manchester City topping at the end of the day?
Right, thank you very much. Let's not forget that Manchester City will be playing Chelsea.
That one is different.
So we would not want to say because Manchester City has been on a good run. You said
Chelsea plays Bournemouth.
Okay, Chelsea plays Bournemouth. Yes. City are not playing Chelsea.
Sunderland, actually.
Yeah, Sunderland. Which is another tough team, by the way.
At home, yeah.
Sunderland. And Man City are facing Sunderland at home. So Manchester City are away to Sunderland. And the likes of Granit Xhaka would not be looking at
Manchester City with good eyes. Of course.
They will be hard for blood.
Yeah.
So we want, like you said, they are waiting patiently for Pieces team to do the justice, get a draw, and they will be all out to get, at least, even if it's not going to be, I'm not seeing a very wild score margin between Sunderland versus Manchester City, probably a 1-goal score margin, 1-0, 2-1. Sunderland know how to score. Manchester City also knows how to score. So both sides will be on the necks of each other, but it's not going to really be of that wide goal margin. So to your question, we could see Manchester City topping the league. That's if Peace and our team gives us a draw.
I like that one.
So I think if Arsenal and Aston Villa can sit out a draw today, it will give Manchester City enough ground to, just go all out. And we've seen Pep Guardiola do things in the past that you would not expect, and we've seen them win tougher games. So Sunderland should be, let's be honest, the quality depth
is wide. But
the quality
Dave, let me just tell you that this is a team that hasn't lost at home this season. That's talking about Sunderland. So that one is going to be a very
tough one.
Yes, just like you said, and I would totally agree. We might see a change, come the end of match week 19. But for Peace, she wants her team to still be at the top of the table. I want to say a very big thank you to David Bolariwa and also Peace Shobaloju for being with me on the show today. And as we wrap up, on the show today, let me quickly give you this story. The Battle of the Sexes. Yes, we've been anticipating it, and it has finally happened. The exhibition tennis match between Aryna Sabalenka, that's the women's world #1, and Nick Kyrgios, who is the 671st, in the men's category in the world. It happened in Dubai. It didn't quite live up to expectations, and despite the hype, the contest felt like an off-season exhibition, lacking intensity and entertainment. And Kyrgios, like I said, is ranked 671st in the men's rankings. He won 6-3, 6-3, in straight sets, but the match was more about novelty than competitive tennis. And quickly, I would say this was supposed to be, I think it was just a low profile, and it wasn't really interesting because of the profile of the two. I think if it was a Yannick Sinner up against Aryna Sabalenka, it is going to be way different. I think the world will be interested. But for somebody who hasn't played competitive tennis for a long time, he's 671st, he is let me say caught rusty, if I can use that term. He's playing against the women's world #1, who has had a fantastic 2025. I think that was why we had that one as a low-key tournament. And of course, maybe going forward, we might see the world number one for the female and the world number one for the men, going up against each other. Yes, this is where we'll be wrapping up, on the show today, and maybe wrapping up for the year 2025, because maybe next time I come your way, it is going to be 2026, and of course we are going to do a lot more. And I want to say thank you to everyone that has been with us on Sports Republic, yes, for this year, and also next year is going to be also bigger as well. Yes, like I said, this is where we'll be wrapping up. Midday news, it comes up immediately after this one. Very big thank you to David Bolariwa and Prince Shabaloju again for joining me on the show. It's the Sports Republic. I'm Afizo Gubanja, and I want to say have a wonderful rest of the year. Bye for now.